Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing an overview of the Meet the Beatles Japan box sets. I got this a while ago, and I meant to do a video on it for a while, but I never had the time to, but now I have the time to do it. So this is a box set consisting of 5 Beatles albums that were released for the Japan market back in 1964 and 1965, if I'm correct. And like I said, there's only 5 albums in here. And I wasn't originally planning to get this, but I decided to because I saw Magical Mystery Mike's video on it, and I just felt that I needed to get it. So, without further ado, I'm going to get started right now. So, when I first got this box set, it came in a resealable plastic sheet. However, the sheet was torn, so I had to toss it. But here we have a backing sheet here that is mainly in Japanese, but it says Japan box right there. And this box set was released to commemorate 50 years since the Beatles went on the Japanese market. Similarly to how the US album set marked 50 years when the Beatles first came to the United States. So the design of the box is pretty similar to the US box set and the mono set, but it's just skinnier, or the width is smaller. And on the back here, you have the listing of each album, as well as the song listing for each album, with the pictures of the albums right here. And on the bottom, you have some credentials. So let's go ahead and open this up. Here's the box one more time. Very glossy, but it looks nice. Inside we have first just this little sheet here. Here we have a booklet which contains pictures of some albums and singles, and some pictures as well of they were before here, of the first pressings of the records, which were on red vinyl. So that's pretty cool. And then we have the track listing as well as song lyrics in here. So pretty cool booklet. And then also in here towards the bottom are the obi strips. I believe there's more, or is that all of them? No. All the obi strips are in this one little bag here. So I'm going to put the albums back. So let's start with the first album, Meet the Beatles. The packaging is similar to the US albums and mono box set, as I said, where each album is in a resealable plastic bag. And these bags are in much better condition than the ones released in the US album set, so I thankfully don't think I have to replace them. Here's another look at the album without the bag. It's hard to see because of the focus, but it does say Meet the Beatles there. And then included with each album is a song lyric sheet, which is pretty small, but I believe these were originally released with the vinyl. So these would have been much bigger, obviously. And then inside, we have the, oops, I want to make sure, I'm trying to grab them without doing damage to the disc, but there's the disc itself for Meet the Beatles. When I first got these, the CDs were out of this little sleeve here, but I decided to make it look more complete by putting them in the bag themselves. So let's go ahead and put this back in Meet the Beatles. Just try to make sure it fits. All right. And then just give me a second when I pick up the bag and put the album back in the little resealable bag. So there you go. There is Meet the Beatles. Next we have the Beatles' second album, Looks pretty similar to the US album cover, but I believe there's a different song. I believe up here it says She Loves You instead of Can't Buy Me Love with the US album version. So let's go ahead and take this out of the bag. Here's another look. Very, very nice. Same packaging as Meet the Beatles with the disc in here. Sorry, just trying to get this fitting back in here without doing damage to the disc, because I'm trying to be as careful as I can. And, oh, forgot to take this out too. Here is the little inner sheet as well, with the song lyrics. So I'll put this back in the sleeve here. And then next, the resealable bag. I really like how these albums, or these box sets, release the albums in this packaging of mini LP format. I really like that. Next up, we have A Hard Day's Night. And in terms of mono and stereo, I believe that these albums are either in mono only or in stereo only. And it's listed in the booklet. And I'll do that real quick just so I'm able to explain that. So the first album, Meet the Beatles, is in mono only. The second album is also in mono. Hard Day's Night is in stereo. Beatles number 5 is in stereo. And Help is in original stereo. And I'll explain about that when I get to Help. So here's A Hard Day's Night again. Here is the inner sheet with the song lyrics. And then, being as careful as I can, here is a look at the disc. Like I said, I'm just trying to be careful because I am very OCD with how I handle any sort of disc, whether it's a Blu-ray, a DVD, or a CD, because I do not like to get anything scratched or fingerprinted or anything like that. Because I would not want to have to rebuy the entire set again for a bad disc. So, there's Hard Day's Night. It's coming out a little bit. Let me see if I can... I'll fix that later. I noticed that this part's sticking out. Next up we have Beatles number 5, which is the 4th album. And this is in stereo, as I said. Here's another look. Very similar to how it's identical to how the Beatles 65 album looked in the US album set. Here is the inner sheet. This one's actually a little book here. Not a book, but it comes out like this. So there's more detail in there. And then the sheet in here, the sleeve, contains other albums. So that's pretty cool. And then here is a look at the disc. And I like too, you can't really see it in this video or the other ones, but I like how the covers of the CDs replicate the parts on the record. I forgot what they were called. The labels on the records. I like how they did that. I don't know if they're exactly the same as how they were released, but it's still nice to kind of give that look of how they looked with the labels. But there's Beatles number 5. And lastly, we have Help. And this is actually a gatefold. I like that. That's a nice back. Now, what I said earlier about the stereo mix, this album or version of Help contains the original stereo. And what I mean by that is, with the original stereo, with the stereo release of Help on CD, that CD contained the 1987 remix by George Martin. So it's not the original stereo mix. But the mono box set, the mono version of Help in the mono set, contains as a bonus, along with Rubber Soul, the original mono mixes. But the original stereo mix, my bad. The original stereo mix. So the original stereo mixes from the mono set are included in this album, if that makes any sense. I'm not the best when it comes to wording, but I hope you get the idea. So like I said, this is a gatefold. And if we take this out, take this out of here. Here is the lyric sheet. And then here's an included photo, which I believe was from the movie Help. I have not seen the movie Help yet as of this video being made, but that will change. So here we go, a similar inner sheet to 65. Then here is the disc. So overall, this is a pretty neat box set. It's very unique. It only contains, from what I've heard, 69 songs, which is under 3 hours of Beatles music. So it does not have all 217 songs from their UK catalog. But I still think this is still a pretty neat box set, because it's like, you know, you get the same type of packaging. Sorry for the voice crack, but you get the same type of packaging that you get for the mono and US album set with the mini replica sleeves. Sorry, I'm just trying to put this back. And from what I've read, the masters or the remasters used for these albums is unfortunately the same as the 2009 ones that are used in the stereo and mono box sets. And I believe that's true as well for the US album set. So it would have been nice if they kind of had their own unique mixes, but, you know, since the 2009 remasters are pretty much the essentials with the releases, can't really complain too much. But let's go ahead and put this back. Sorry if I'm rambling on. I'm trying to like make conversation so while I'm putting these back so it doesn't sound, you know, awkward silence. But there you go. That's the last album, Help, and I'll put these back. So I am glad to have this. I wasn't really intending on getting this, and I wasn't really aware it existed until the video by Magical Mystery Mike, until I saw that video. The video's been out for over 1.5 years, but I didn't see it until a couple months ago. So thank you to him for making that video and encouraging me to get this set. So last I'll put back the Obi strips. Maybe one day I'll apply those to the set. And then put the sleeve back in here. And then last but not least, the backing sheet. Kind of wish that the bag was not ripped when it arrived, but I'll still keep it as this, as how this looks. So hope you all enjoyed this overview of the Meet the Beatles Japan box set. From what Magical Mystery Mike said, there aren't really too many videos on that focus on this set, so I figured I would just make one just for fun. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Take care.